Hey, this is Danielle from Black Business Boom and Black Owned Nashville, and we are live celebrating World Doula Week, and we have Tanzye Hill joining us from the Birth Manifesta. Welcome, Tanzye. How are you?
I'm well, Danielle. Good to be here. I'm fresh off a 48-hour birth, so I'm a
Yeah.
little tired, but I'm here.
Now, I appreciate you still being willing to join me because that is quite a long time. like,
It is.
but I'm excited to have you, and I really want to learn more about just being a doula and what that means, and how Black women can use doulas to make sure that they have safe childbirth experiences. So I'm really excited. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna be transparent with those that are tuned in. I don't have kids. Even as I approach 40, I'm 36 and still thinking about, well, do I? But one of my biggest concerns is just having a healthy delivery, and it has me scared to death, And so because you hear these stories of Black women and not making it, and so that's a big fear that I know a lot of us have. So I'm really happy to have you and have your community, and so let's get on into it. So tell us, for those that are listening that may not know, and I know somebody knows because we just got this, my doula. So I know somebody knows.
I don't know who that is, but
Yes.
hey.
So tell us, what is a doula?
Yeah, so it is. We're going in tomorrow, World Doula Week, and so this is a perfect opportunity to raise awareness and really kind of educate our community on what a doula is. And so, really, a doula wears many roles, but I do want to clarify that a doula is non-medical. We don't do any medical procedures. We support birthing people along the pregnancy continuum, and it looks like in the role of education, advocacy, so informing clients, birthing people about, moms around like, what are your birth rights? What do you want for your birth? Really helping you navigate the healthcare system and being more of like in a mindset of being a consumer versus like something is happening to you, but knowing like at the center of this whole process, it should be your voice. So a lot of work should go on the front end of preparing women and birthing people for birth. So advocacy, education, birth planning. In our community, this is very ancestral, like sacred work in the Black community. So we know, if you don't know, birth started, of course, with Black women and the granny midwives. We were the original birth workers of this country. So it's very deeply rooted in, we kind of do some of those things naturally, using different holistic ways to help with comfort techniques before, again, during, and after pregnancy. So as a healer and also, let's see, now I'm getting like baby brain, but so really a lot of different roles is what, and so
At
there's
what
different types of
point
doulas.
because I know you said before, during, and after. So at what point in someone's pregnancy does it make sense for them to engage with or start to find the right doula for them?
Right. And it's different for everyone in their own journey. I've had people meet me and they're like, I didn't know I was gonna meet a doula. I'm 8 weeks pregnant. Nobody knows, but I want you to be my doula. And I'm like, okay. So we stay like in contact. Traditionally, probably ideally around like 25 weeks. You want to 25 weeks, like that second trimester, you really want to start thinking about just your entire care team. Right. Just because you've been with the doctor in your women wellness up until that point, that may not be the person that you want to birth your baby. And so you really start looking for your entire team. And that is important to include a doula. So around that time is good because then you actually have enough time to kind of shop around, see who's a good fit for you, because it is about fit. Both ways. So I'm always like never offended if somebody doesn't choose me from their doula. I'm like, but did you get doula care? Because especially as Black women in this country, it's now becoming more of a conversation that our maternal mortality rates are higher than our white counterparts or anyone else. So we're, 3 to 4, in some states, 4 to 5 times more likely to die as pregnancy-related complications, which is scary, which is exactly why, you really need to consider having a doula. and someone who can be there with you throughout the entire process and
Mhm.
guide you and really make sure that you're comfortable. Yeah.
So I assume that you all are there doing during the actual birth, but then also like really acting as the voice, because I think that's the biggest thing that, for Black women, many times we are in pain and we're expressing that, or we have something going on and we just get brushed off, and so
Right.
will you act as kind of that voice and advocate for the mom?
So, yes, but if I've done my job well, then mamas feel confident enough to use their own voice, you
Okay.
know? And so that's what I really want to build up, because that's the voice that matters. You're
Yeah.
in the situation and you're experiencing everything that's happening, kind of how it's unfolding. But we have those conversations ahead of time to really, so I know, and whoever is in the delivery room with you, whether it is a companion, husband, boyfriend, whomever, or mother, because of COVID, we kind of cut the numbers of who can be in the room.
Mhm.
But most hospitals in here do allow like 2 support people and then 1 doula still.
Okay.
But we want
Oh.
everybody to be on the same page of what you want ahead of time. So that in the moments when you can't speak up, then we will. But usually, mostly my moms, they do a great job. I start from the beginning, like teaching them how to advocate, even when we're in conversation of saying, like, if I'm a fit for them, I'm trying to like train them and to get in the habit of using their voice.
I love that. Now, I love it. You just mentioned like seeing if you are fit. So, can you give us some tips for folks as they are looking for, the right doula for them and their family? What are some things that we should be mindful of, or some things that we should be looking out for to make that decision?
Yeah. So I think the first thing is, do you feel heard and do they give you a sense of safety? Because as doulas, that's what we are trying to create. It's like this container of safety, right? You can't, labor won't progress. You won't produce the right hormones if that help you go into labor and keep labor continuous if you don't feel safe. So if
Mhm.
you're in a like fight or flight mindset, then labor is not going to progress. A lot of times, we get close to that due date, and mom's like, I just want to go in labor. So then I have to kind of dig emotionally to see what's kind of blocking, you from those hormones coming through. So one, do you feel safe? Um, a lot of times people, it's about their finances. So we'll be doing a little bit of education around that this week. If you follow us at Birth Manifesta, like during World Week, like everyone, should have a doula. So sometimes it is about finances, but we really also have to shift, in the Black community and look at it as like an investment in ourselves and in our children and in our bodies. And so we got to get creative about like, how can we afford a doula? And so don't
Mhm.
let, the price of a doula or anything like that scare you away. There are other ways, just like we have gender reveals in this, put it on your registry. I've had
Mm.
people who have had families, come together and help pay for that, especially with postpartum.
Yeah.
Sometimes even if you don't have a doula in birth, maybe you really need postpartum support. And sometimes we look at it like it's a luxury, but it's not. And
What does that
then
postpartum support look like? What would one expect from postpartum support from a doula?
So postpartum support is really looks like helping the entire family with like the transition of adding, a new addition to the family. So that does take place in the home. And as far as me and my team, we're really big on providing holistic care. So, we're there to help with the baby, but really have our eyes on mama to make sure that, if there are any signs of postpartum depression, that we get you to the right people, make referrals, make sure that you have the social support that you need. If there's anything setting up in the home. So first time moms, a lot of time, really it's just like you get sent home with this baby and you're like, I don't know what to do,
What am I supposed to do with this
Um,
baby? That's how I would be with a baby.
and then sometimes family is good, but then sometimes family want to do it how they're used to doing it. They kind of want to do
Mhm.
it, they
Mhm.
want to do it how they want to, and that's not necessarily always helpful because it's different. It's your baby.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
We got a couple comments I wanted to put up on the screen, let people see.
Okay.
So someone, again, is not telling me the name, but Tanzye taught
Okay.
my husband and I how to speak up for ourselves and our rights. This changed our experience for the better with both of my pregnancies. That is amazing. So that comment came through when I was asking about you being an advocate, and you were saying that you teach them to do it for yourself. So somebody co-signed. And then I love this. They had a doula fund to
Yeah.
allow friends and family to contribute. I would much rather somebody put something on a doula fund than on some diapers, like, so,
Yeah.
or on a big, huge baby shower or gender reveal, when this is something that can truly save your life and or your baby's life. So I love
Mhm.
that idea of being creative and how we get the support that we need. Now I know
Right.
you all will be doing some things over the next several days for World Doula Week. What can we look out for?
Yeah, so really this week we'll be doing a lot around just raising awareness. I do want to speak to, as far as also paying for doulas, there are different doula, programs here that can help and support pay for expenses. Right now, we're launching myself, Birth Manifesta, and Gideon's Army, our partnership around maternal health. Rashida and I met way back at PearlCon, and we've been, mothering students and come alongside families for a really long time. So we've actually been in partnership for a year, and had the privilege of like birthing a lot of my former students' babies. So we'll be raising funds around that, and gearing up for Black Maternal Health Week, which is in April.
I love
So
it.
this week, follow us on Instagram because there will be just a lot of education. I have some of our former clients on there having conversation. You can hear like straight from them what their experiences were. And really, really just want to make sure that everyone has understanding of what the role of a doula is, why it's important, how, especially in the Black community, it improves birth outcomes, lowers risk of cesareans, lowers the risk of postpartum depression. So we'll just be doing a lot of education.
I love it.
Oh, I can't
I
hear
muted
you.
myself. I
Okay.
was just talking, but I'm really excited to see what you all have coming up this week. I love the work that you're doing. Excited for the
Thank
partnership
you.
with Gideon's Army, and we're here to support in any way we can. Again, happy World Doula Week starting off tomorrow. So make sure
Yep.
that you're following on Instagram at Birth Manifesta. Is that all
That's
right?
right.
Go and follow right now on
Mhm.
Instagram. Let's show our support and learn some things together. Again, thank you so much for joining me, Tanzye. This was amazing and very informative.
Thank you so much for using your platform. And I'll drop some things in the Facebook group about this week.
Perfect. Thank you so